that backs both your points up, Jackie, because you can get a capitalist to support reparations. Tom Steyer is an example. There's plenty of capitalists that came out for reparations. They do that because they know they're going to get the money back. So black people hold the most medical debt. We hold a substantial amount of medical debt. About 33% of the population has medical debt. So if you pass reparations without having Medicare for all or a nationalized healthcare system or without canceling student loan debt, you essentially just took black suffering and oppression and wrote a check to Big Pharma. If you do it without taking out our prison industrial complex, you pretty much going to get write a check to black Americans that they take back via civil asset forfeiture and regressive fees. So I don't want my reparations to go back to the same system of white supremacy I'm fighting against. So we should fight for and advocate for reparations, but we got to do it in a very class conscious way. We can't allow the capitalists to ruin it.
Listening to Reset Race, you now tuned in to Reset Race. You're listening to Reset Race, you're now tuned in to Reset Race. What? Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them, put them back on the grill again. We grilling them, put them back on the grill again. We grilling them, back on the grill again. We grilling them, You're listening to Reset Race. ADOS need reparations to make America great. You're tuned in to Reset Race. We no longer starving while others eat off our plate. No. You're listening to Reset Race. Be focused on our justice claim. We know what is at stake. You're tuned in to Reset Race. You'll find out who really about justice and really who fake. Lineage go back to U.S. Southern plantations. Penniage, Jim Crow, and mass incarceration. Redlining lynchings. We are old from this nation. You're not about justice if you ain't for reparations. MG the wise one, cousin mother intellectual. Samantha bringing fire, anti-black, we pressing you. No permanent friends and no permanent enemies. The backbone of the country, the win. You need our energy. You gon' see. Listening to Reset Race. You now tuned in to Reset Race. You're listening to Reset Race. You're now tuned in to Reset Race. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Put them back on the grill again. We grilling them. Back on the grill again. We grilling them. You're listening to Reset Race. ADOS need reparations to make America great. You're tuned in to Reset Race. We no longer starving while others eat off our plate. No. You're listening to Reset Race. Be focused on our justice claim. We know what is at stake. You're tuned in to Reset Race. You'll find out who really about justice and really who fake.
Place, because as he just said, we get the reparations first. We're just basically breaking even.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not.
That's my take on it. Anybody got something to say?
I got something I can add that boosts that backs both your points up, Jackie, because you can get a capitalist to support reparations. Tom Steyer is an example. There's plenty of capitalists that came out for reparations. They do that because they know they're going to get the money back.
All white people who have money in America are capitalists. So if any white person who comes out to speak to help Black people is an automatic and because they're a capitalist, they should be dismissed, and what they care about should be dismissed, is kind of bullshit. Because Tom Steyer put his money where his mouth is in Black and Latino communities, because he did, way before he ran for president and endorsed reparations. So again, you got to do your research and got to know enough, but you haven't been around for the past couple of years dealing with this reparations struggle. I'm gonna keep going. I know, Mud, I said I was gonna let you go first, but I'm just gonna let him go a little bit more, and then I'm gonna shut up.
So Black people hold the most medical debt. We hold a substantial amount of medical debt. About 33% of the population has medical debt. So if you pass reparations without having Medicare for all or a nationalized healthcare system or without canceling student loan debt, you essentially just took Black suffering and oppression and wrote a check to Big Pharma.
Mud, any thoughts? Mud goes first. This is Mud. After Mud, I want to go.
Oh, yeah. The reparations package that we're talking about should cover any medical debt. Like, I think that we're also talking about like free education, free healthcare. Like, these are the type of things that we're thinking about based on the history of us being locked out from attaining education and dealing with medical apartheid. So Yeah, I mean, and even if we're just talking about people having to pay out through their cash payment, um, I the reality is that they're the even if you wipe out that medical debt, if they don't have anything after that, they're still fucked because they have to deal with poverty. So if you're not really going to address that, which is not something that they really have in their plans, then it's not really going to be a good solution for us. Also, this thing of like we got to look at all the capitalists, like the evil manipulators that are trying to hustle us out of our money. Well, I think that we can also look at all these socialists and communists in a similar way, except they're not trying to hustle us out of our money per se. They're trying to hustle us out of our political clout, our political influence, our political capital. They're trying to use us to benefit their political agenda. And, those days are over.
Agreed.
That's all I got.
Thanks,
Yeah,
bud.
they're basically okay, I don't know, I'm gonna put a movie in here, but I'm not gonna use Hocus Pocus. I'll probably use American Horror Story if they let me use it. If they don't let me use American Horror Story, I'll use Hocus Pocus. But there's a part where the witch, she puts this doctor up and she's literally like sucking the life out of him until he turns into a skeleton in dust. What you guys are doing right now is you're using Black political capital and you're dispelling it and giving it to another group and letting them use that to empower themselves. That's what you're doing. That's some vampire shit right there. This is
Political
the same
vampires.
shit
Damn.
This is the same shit that people of color do when they talk about our plight and then they insert themselves. This is the same shit that the LGBTQAI community does. You see, they're pushing for gay reparations right now, which I'm not going to fight against. But if y'all do that for them before you do reparations for Black Americans, I'm not going to say what it should be because since January 6th, I don't say what it really is. But at some point, we're gonna do a Patreon or maybe when they get the booty clappers, when they finish getting the booty clappers off of OnlyFans, we might do an OnlyFans. hey, OnlyFans is going legit. They want to be a new Patreon. I like the sound of OnlyFans better than I like Patreon. Like I said, once they get all the porn and the booty clappers off, we can slide on over there. So
no fun over there after that. Why we?
Whatever. So I'm not gonna say what it should be, and I'm not saying anything should happen to that specific group, but I'm saying if y'all keep doing stuff for other groups,
you will do as you are tasked. It is your soul's purpose because I own it.
Who is this man? What is this place?
Congratulations, Madame Delphine Lalaurie. You have been granted your sweet release from the world of the mortal. And as punishment for your crimes of murder, torture, passion, fashion, and being an all-around no-good, miserable bitch, you will spend all of eternity here.
In my home.
No, it's mine.
Welcome.
excuse me, there were gay slave owners the same way there were white women slave owners. There have been gay people who have had power and influence in this country since its inception. They may not have been allowed to be outwardly gay, but they was doing their thug thizzle in the back with their money, and they was enjoying their best life, and they was oppressing other people as well. I'm not saying that all, but I'm saying let's quit trying to play these games. So stop taking Black people's political capital and using it for your own. We are going to keep beating you over the head. Let me tell y'all can't stop me. I don't want a motherfucking thing. I don't want to be famous. I don't want a contract. I used to be fucking known.
Get to you and that booty. Trying to get to you and that booty. Trying to get to you and that booty.
I've been able to move around and people know who I am and me be fucking broke. That shit don't interest me. And I'm about to have money, so I really don't give a fuck about you. So I'm going to talk my shit and I'm going to tell you what I want to say because you motherfuckers can't cancel me because you can't cancel me because you niggas don't pay me. So I'm just saying, that's it. Okay, y'all got anything else?
Go ahead, John.
That's a woo. I don't know what to say after that. That's kind of crazy. Like, but I do got something to say with quote unquote Chairman Nick. Chairman Nick he's a funny character, man. He's a funny dude. I think he's a smart guy. I think that he cares about black people in a certain way, but I think that him being the head of the quote unquote Fred Hampton Leftists, it's like, and the way he's talking about reparations, I remember he came at MG because MG just every day he just asked him. Every day, all he did was just like, hey, Chairman Nick, reparations, like what? What's up? But they ain't answer you yet. You like, I asked him everything. And then one day he snapped. One day he was like,
he snapped because I said he didn't say nothing about reparations, but apparently they ain't been saying nothing serious because they don't know shit.
For real, bro.
Yeah, they should just sat and ate their food.
Yeah.
All MG said to him was like, he ain't respond to me like, where you at? Like, hey, yo, Green Party dancing. I started going crazy. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I think he touched his soul because he know deep down in his soul is that they are a functionary of the left. Black faces of the left, man. I'm sorry, they black faces of the left. Let's keep it real, man.
Yeah, and you know, I was them in 2016. You know what I mean?
You see,
I was them. And I didn't realize it at the time. I thought I was doing the best I could. That was pre-reparations and pre this current iteration of reparations. But once the flag went up for reparations, that shit was over. Right?
I'm right with you. I definitely was in that type of space as well. But you know, I guess we.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I felt like I think that me and you both felt like, what the fuck? Like, anytime you bring up, like, what the fuck is this? Like, anytime you like, when they get too black, for some reason, like, when they got too black, it was something. It was like something. I can't get too black because, you know what I mean? We starving. Like, we do need Medicare and help. Like, that's cool. We can get that. Now, after a while, I'm like, man, fuck that. Because I see other groups coming in. Other minority groups coming in and be like, yo, this is the fuck we want. They with them. You know what I mean? Asians, Native American, this and that. And then if you really believe in a socialist, and you really like a socialist, and you like, yo, money can't save everything, and everything needs to be have some type of public entity. And all right, well, tell Native Americans then. Like, yo, the reason we came to your land, the reason that colonizers came to your land was for capitalism. They wanted to have free land and be able to grow capital on the land. And you know what? Let's erase all that shit and just get everybody land. Like, let's get everybody let's get everybody public utilities or public access to the land. Like, let's make your land public now. They're gonna be like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? And the thing about it, like, they feel like the private ownership of Native Americans' land by tribe, they respect that, but they don't respect our justice claim. Like, they think that you put it to the back burner when they, you feel me, they want to put other people to the front. Like, that shit is fucked up. It doesn't make any sense to me. I know why they're doing it, because the country is so anti-black and they just trying to survive, but fuck that. Fuck that. Because if you got kids and all that shit, when 2053 come around, I think we all gonna be, I don't give a fuck. 2053 is 2021, that's 30 years from now. We all might be alive. I don't know. But Rosa,
I'm definitely gonna be alive.
I think I'm gonna be dead. I'm 23, I might be dead. I ain't gonna lie.
No, you made it over 25. Odds are you gonna make it, John.
I might.
For black man,
I don't know.
You were really in the danger zone till 25. You doing all right now.
I ain't gonna lie. I got about it a little bit, but man, I still live. I might. But at the end of the day, though, 2053, our wealth as a collective will average to 0. That means even with Oprah, she's still gonna be wealthy. That means with all the basketball players and the rappers that we got, it's still gonna be they're gonna be quote unquote rich. They're not even wealthy, they're quote unquote rich. Even with that, our wealth, when you combine the collective wealth to the bottom and the people that's under them, it's gonna equal out to 0. I don't think people understand the gravity of that shit. Or they don't care. Understand. They want to go to the pool party with Crystal Ball and Jimmy Dore.
That's what it is.
Out of your mind, Nick.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. I should have cooked your ass a long time.
Class reductionist at its best. This is a bunch of class reductionist shit if I've ever motherfucking seen it. All right, Mud, you got anything before I go back to the video, sir?
Well, let me go really quick.
Let a little Mud, because Mud has barely been in the episode.
Go ahead, MG.
Okay, go ahead.
MG.
All right, so this is that bullshit. Watch out, dog. Damn dog bothering me. All right, so this is the bullshit, right? So they're pinging us with this, capitalism shit, right? But Native Americans have casinos, right? Capitalism like a motherfucker, making ching 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 ching. House always wins, right? They are putting money in their pockets. They are putting their kids.
Where's our UBI from that?
They are putting their kids through school, right? They are buying property, doing all that capitalists do with that motherfucking money, right? But you are not telling them to shut down the fucking casinos until we kill capitalism. You're not telling them to give that fucking land back until we kill capitalism. You are not telling the Jews to cut those stop receiving those reparations checks. You are not telling the government to stop sending money to fucking Israel. You are not telling the State Department to help them hunt down that fucking money that we spend money on every year to help the Jews hunt down money that was stolen by the Nazis, right? You are not stopping any of that shit.
Just black people bag.
Just black people. That's the only thing that's stopping everything. That's the only fucking thing that's stopping everything. Do you realize how fucking stupid? That's fucking stupid. It is absolutely ignorant. And you, as a black face, spitting this bullshit out, because I've heard all this bullshit. I was there when they developed these fucking talking points, right? Because I was on the leading edge on the left on the reparations piece in this current iteration, right? So I heard them develop these talking points. They were bullshit then, and they're bullshit now, right? So if you're gonna, this is your chin check, Nick. I want to see you and Kim Tallbear's mentions and tell her you want the fucking mountains back.
Yup.
Until we kill capitalism.
All people. You gotta give that land to
everybody.
Poor whites.
Everybody.
Poor whites.
Tell them to stop anything that resembles reparations, put it back in the fucking pot until capitalism is dead.
And get that money back from the Japanese.
And good point. And call the Japanese to get that $20K out their ass. They can afford it.
Yeah, they can.
Right? Get all of them.
Family. Per family.
Get all of them. All right, it's your chin check, socialist MMA. Right? You can go put them in a motherfucking chicken wing. Treat them like you treat your own fucking people. Treat them like you treat your own fucking people. And you realize. Let me finish, Sam, please. But you will realize how spineless and feckless this position is. That's a problem. That is a motherfucking problem. And as Sam said, Fred Hampton would spit in your fucking face.
Ooh, baby. And again,
spit in your face. He will whip your ass.
Did y'all talk to the family? Did Fred Hampton Jr. approve this? If he did, okay, I'll shut up. But
the wild shit is the 10-point program could be the blueprint for the new left.
The same program, for real.
The exact same fucking program for everybody except the reparations piece. The exact same program. Because that 10-point program was absolutely revolutionary. There is still nothing else like it. Still nothing else like it. You could have took that and ran with it, but you took the punk route, socialist MMA. Right? Right? If you gonna be that guy, be that guy. But you're not. You're not built for this reparations fight, champ. You're not. If you're gonna be in this fight, be in it.
I'm not in it. Fuck that dude.
And I'm not even
sorry.
gonna get into that. I'm gonna cut this here. Speaking about not being built for that, what you was talking about that I'm gonna cut from earlier, John, with Rome. Yeah, listen. Now I'm gonna come back in. I'm gonna come back in and because I'm gonna cut that part. But y'all know where I'm going with that. So I'm coming back in here. Y'all can't be in this fight. You can't talk. Fred Hampton died for his people. He didn't die for people of color. He didn't die for the world. He died for his people.
Facts.
If he wouldn't have been pushing Black people first, they wouldn't have killed him.
Facts.
The same way when Martin Luther King Jr. was pushing Black issues only first, they didn't give a fuck. They talked shit. They locked him up from time to time, threw a couple batons here and there, but they let him live. As soon as he did that "Why I'm Against Vietnam" speech, as soon as he started talking about coming to get our check, so he started talking about reparations, UBI, federal jobs guarantee, they killed that nigga. The American government killed Martin Luther fucking King. And you motherfucking white racists who be like, Martin Luther King, he cared about the content of the character, not the color of the skin, then you motherfucker shouldn't have killed him. But since you killed him, we're going to take everything he said and then we're going to remember that peaceful man who talked about peace and love, you motherfuckers still put in the grave. He turned the other cheek to the point and y'all still put him in the grave. So what should we do? We should fight, because you don't get into this fight if you're not willing to die for it. Do I want to die for it? No. I'd like to live to be 107. That's how I like to see myself, with my great-great-grandchildren running around me. But if I gotta go, I gotta go. I'm just another Black person who will have died in the struggle. Most likely, I won't make a history book. Most likely, nobody even fucking remember me. But I will have fought for my people. Y'all gotta pick a side.
Facts.
Y'all gotta pick a side, because right now, what you're doing right now, you're poisoning the well and you're muddying the waters. And like I said, I'm not going to judge you yet, but either you are ignorant and you're being used because you don't know enough, or you're like Brianna, Bree, Joy Gray, whatever.
Don't matter.
You like her where you know exactly what the fuck is going on, you know exactly what you're doing, and you're a fucking enemy. I don't know which one you are yet, but y'all better pick a side. Pick a side.
Fast.
Okay. Muddy, I think we're done, right? Everybody went, so we can go back, right? Did everybody adjust this?
Mud ain't go. Mud ain't go.
Mud, did you go? Please go, Mud.
No, go ahead. Go ahead and play the tape.
Thank you. Okay. Woo. We're
Sorry,
getting
Mud.
through it. We're almost done. Mud, go first the next time, please.
If you do it without taking out our prison industrial complex, you pretty much going to get write a check to Black Americans that they take back via civil asset forfeiture and regressive fees. So I don't want my reparations to go back to the same system of white supremacy I'm fighting against. So we should fight for and advocate for reparations, but we got to do it in a very class-conscious way. We can't allow the capitalists to ruin this. We already seen examples of I remember they had an area that just passed reparations, and it was implemented in a very capitalist way.
I'm sorry, Mud, I want you to go after this, but how do you bring up something, but you don't even remember what city it was? It was done in a really capitalist way. Which one was it? Evanston? Evanston did a housing grant that's only going to be for 16 people, and it's only for 25,000. Which, if you did the research, you would have realized that wasn't enough. That isn't even enough money for a down payment in a home in that area, because the average home is over 400,000. And then you would have said, that's not really reparations. That was a housing initiative that they hoodwinked people as reparations. That has nothing to do with capitalism. That has everything to do with the Democratic Party and people trying to use reparations as a buzzword to do shit that they should have been did for Black people.
And Narcan and Cobra having their fingers in it too. Go ahead.
Mud, you got anything before I go back? Because I want to let you go and then I want to play some more.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this thing of like, all right, we can't do reparations in a capitalistic way. It's just an excuse not to do the shit.
Exactly.
Like they just want to go around it and do some class-based, but they're not serious about reparations.
Well, I think we missed like the last couple seconds, Mud.
Yeah, you just muted yourself. So just kind of start over if you can remember.
Oh, I mean, basically, I was saying this is all a game. Like, it's just a way to avoid reparations, to go for some class-based stuff. Because what does that even mean? They're doing reparations in a capitalistic way. What other reparations has been done? Like, what reparations has been done in the socialistic way? What example is that?
It means reparations to everybody, I guess.
Are we saying that
it's stupid?
It's dumb as fuck.
I mean, I don't know what exactly that would mean, but hopefully he explains it. That's all I got.
He won't. John, you got anything?
Can we go a little bit further before I let John go?
Sure. I would like my reparations. I would like a piece of all the Native American lands, and I would like to go build. I would like to go build wherever I want to go build and go whatever. I don't. I wouldn't like that. I was owed my people, like, period. And you're talking about capitalistic this, and I think that Sammy made a great point. Is like real shit, like the capitalists, like we never was able to fully even participate in the system, and based off the thing about it, everything is built off this system of us being exploited like this, like, and never be able to participate. This is what the system is built off. So when you give us an opportunity to participate in the system is going to be something different. The system is not like they think that we're going to be absorbed by the system because they have first of all, they have no faith in our people. They have no real political imagination, and they do not understand like how they don't understand the gravity of what reparations is and what we're really asking for, what we're really trying to do. We're trying to change the society of America. When you feel me, like, bro, y'all niggas believe in Jesus, you take care of the lowest, man. Like, bro, you should look at society and how they treat the lowest people in their society. You done elevated the lowest people in society. This occurs a massive way through fucking. This is something that this is something that's crazy. You know what I mean, not crazy in a crazy way, but I'm just in the same way. Like this, you can get whatever you want after you take care of Negroes. They don't want to have that fight though, because they comfortable being in a spot and they subconsciously comfortable.
Because they know if they have that fight, they're gonna get thrown out the way MG got thrown out. That's what it is. Yes. That's how it works. If you fight hard for Black people, y'all are not fighting for Black people. You guys are cosplaying fighting for Black people. Like y'all and Brianna Greyjoy are literally saying the same shit about reparations. And listen, if I tell you you are pretty for, if I say you're pretty, or not even just like how you say I'm for reparations, I'm for gay marriage, but I don't think blah, blah, blah. Anything I say after that is a problem.
Yep.
You don't say, anytime you say but after something, you're not for it. Yep. They're basically saying I'm for reparations, but not until the climate is fixed and the ice caps stop melting. I'm for reparations, but not until we fix all white people, even though they're about to get a wealth transfer that is about $50,000 under the base minimum that we're asking for reparations. And that's the average. We are literally asking for the same money that white people are about to get from their grandparents. And y'all are
which they didn't earn.
Us. Which they didn't earn. Which they didn't earn. And y'all are fighting against us. Y'all may your ancestors torture you in your sleep.
Well, according to them, go ahead. According to them, isn't that money going to go right back to the capitalists?
Like I said, they need to fight for it. Go ahead, Mud. Please go ahead, Mud. I'm gonna shut up.
I'm just saying.
I thought it should. I don't know.
Let Mud finish. I want Mud to talk. You just finished. I've been talking too much too. Let Mud talk.
It's basically the point. Like, like all these arguments that they would use against us should be arguments they're using in that fight for their wealth transfer. Like, not the wealth transfer, but
no, they should. The Fred Hampton Leftists, y'all need to come after these white kids fucking trust funds. That money's going back to capitalists. They buy houses, they fucking fixing, they doing all kinds of shit. That's all going back to capitalists. Go fight rich white people.
But
it's not going to be rich white people. It's
sorry, go fight middle class white people. I'm sorry, go fight middle class white people. Go fight your friends.
The problem, it's going to be their friends, and that's why they don't want to do it, because their friends are going to be like all this socialist shit that their friends are talking now is going to go out the window when they get their houses from their goddamn grandparents.
those $1 and $2 million houses. Like the average house in the hood in LA is going for over $500,000. Don't let your parents don't live somewhere with white people. Your shit's $800,000-$900,000 averaging in Los Angeles. And a lot of people are inheriting $1 million. A lot of these white people are inheriting $1 million homes in LA, New York, San Francisco, like major markets, baby.
Yeah, and like Darity says, money is going to capitalists no matter what the fuck you do, whether we're poor or whether we have a little money in our pocket. Money is still going to go to capitalists, right? So you're going to tell the 53% of homeless people that are black who could be lifted up out of homelessness with reparations, continue to live in the street because we don't want that money going to a landlord. What the fuck is wrong with you people? What the fuck is wrong with you people? Oh my God.
They crazy in the motherfucker. Like.
Go ahead, keep going, John. I mean, keep going, MG, keep going.
It's just that they want to elongate our suffering to save the world. Superman is dead, and he wasn't even black. This is stupid.
He was black. He wouldn't be Superman.
He's stupid.
He'll be a black.
I think it's crazier than that. I think they truly believe that for them to achieve their political goals, it requires our suffering.
It does. It does.
We have to be in such a position where we have no choice but to side with them.
Yeah,
I mean, that's their politics. Like as far as how they deal with us, just the left in general. Like how they deal with us, we have to suffer so that they can continue using our struggle as fuel for their politics.
The human body generates more bioelectricity than a 120-volt battery and over 25,000 BTUs of body heat. Combined with a form of fusion, the machines had found all the energy they would ever need. There are fields now, endless fields, where human beings are no longer born. We are grown. For the longest time, I wouldn't believe it. And then I saw the fields with my own eyes. Watched them liquefy the dead so they could be fed intravenously to the living. And standing there, facing the pure, horrifying precision, I came to realize the obviousness of the truth. What is the Matrix? Control. The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world, built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this.
No. I don't believe it. It's not possible.
I didn't say it would be easy, Neo. I just said it would be the truth.
Stop.
We have to suffer so that they can continue using our struggle as fuel for their politics.
Yeah, and I often say, because you'll often hear, I think it comes from Marx, to say struggle till revolution. They mean our struggle. Yes. They ain't talking about their struggle, because they're going to get their little inheritance, right? They're talking about our struggle, because we talked about this before, because our struggle is the core of the economic issues in this country. So if we get fixed, all the economic issues get nearly cut in half, right? And that blows all the steam out of their stuff, all of it, right? So we have to continue to suffer in order for them to get there, to get to their utopia or nirvana, whatever the fuck they want to call it. And that's bull. And they want us to continue to suffer on the bottom when we get there. Fuck these people. All right, let's go.
I want to jump in this little part. I'm not going to read any of these articles. Y'all can just Google shit. But they keep talking about how the money from Black people is just going to go to capitalists, right? Money from Black people right now is just going to capitalists. Poor Black people are being extorted by capitalists every day in this country. Y'all remember the housing crisis, right? Wells Fargo deliberately put strangers' loans on Black/Hispanic lawsuit. I got a homeboy who is a magic Negro who is respected in his company. They give him a company car. He has great credit. He owns one home. He has another home. He is everything. And they still try to defraud him at the bank. He just knows enough to not let it happen. He switched all of his money out of one bank to another bank. This is just one thing. And are we not going to pretend like they're not using predatory loans to get us? Like all these people using payday lenders and payday loans. We are being extorted
just to get by.
We are being extorted by capitalists every day right now. The only difference is it's happening because we have no money. You give us money, we're not paying payday loans. You give us money, we can hire a lawyer to go over our contracts when we buy a house. We can find a real estate attorney. I know they exist. Find a real estate attorney, look over this contract, make sure they're not fucking me. You can afford that shit. I can afford not to go to a payday lender. I can afford to have health care. So when I get sick, I don't have to go and just fucking run up money. And also, listen, I understand a lot of Black people don't have health care, but a lot of Black people are under the poverty line. I have health care because I'm poor currently. I'm cash poor anyway. So I am land rich and cash poor. So I have free government health care. A lot of Black people are like me because we're so poor. Yes, there's a lot of middle-class Negroes who get squeezed and they don't have free health care and they get fucked over. But let's not pretend like we're not being extorted and like we don't, like every single one of us, like, oh, we have the most healthcare debt. No, we don't. We would have less healthcare debt if we had money. Everything you're describing about why the money would go to capitalists, we're being extorted by capitalists because we don't have any money. Why
we can't defend ourselves. Yep.
I go to the white community all the time. You don't see payday loans everywhere in the white community? Like, come on. So that's all I want to say with that. And if y'all got anything before we go back to the video, but I just had to pull that up to just debunk their talking point. Black people are already being extorted by capitalists. The only difference is right now we don't have any money. Y'all got anything, or should I go back to the video?
Let's go.
Well, I mean, the alternative is to like sell us a dream on a world that does not exist yet.
In a world that we have never seen, like James Baldwin said. I'm gonna put in the James Baldwin video right here too. You know which one I'm talking about.
I'll tell you this. When I left this country in 1948, I left this country for one reason only, one reason. I didn't care where I went. I might have gone to Hong Kong, I might have gone to Timbuktu. I ended up in Paris, on the streets of Paris, with $40 in my pocket on the theory that nothing worse could happen to me there than had already happened to me here. You talk about making it as a writer by yourself. You had to be able then to turn off all the antenna with which you live, because once you turn your back on this society, you may die. You may die. And it's very hard to sit at a typewriter and concentrate on that if you're afraid of the world around you. The years I lived in Paris did one thing for me. They released me from that particular social terror, which was not the paranoia of my own mind, but a real social danger visible in the face of every cop, every boss, everybody. I don't know what most white people in this country feel, but I can only include what they feel from the state of their institutions. I don't know if white Christians hate Negroes or not, but I know that we have a Christian church which is white and a Christian church which is black. I know, as Malcolm X once put it, that the most segregated hour in American life is high noon on Sunday. That says a great deal for me about a Christian nation. It means that I can't afford to trust most white Christians and certainly cannot trust the Christian church. I don't know whether the labor unions and their bosses really hate me. That doesn't matter, but I know I'm not in their unions. I don't know if the real estate lobby is anything against black people, but I know the real estate lobbies keep me in the ghetto. I don't know if the Board of Education hates black people, but I know the textbooks they give my children to read and the schools that we have to go to. Now, this is the evidence. You want me to make an act of faith, risking myself, my wife, my woman, my sister, my children, on some idealism which you assure me exists in America, which I have never seen. What is it you wanted me to reconcile myself to? I was born here almost 60 years ago. I'm not going to live another 60 years. You always told me it takes time. It has taken my father's time, my mother's time, my uncle's time, my brothers and my sisters' time, my nieces and my nephews' time. How much time do you want for your progress?
You know, it took my mother's time, my father's time, my sister's time, my brother's time. How much longer do you want for your progress? Because these motherfuckers is telling us to wait another generation.
And it's worse than that, Mud. It's not that that doesn't exist or we are not there yet. They don't even have a plan that they're willing to tell us to get there.
Exactly.
That's the wild shit. That's the wild shit.
They got nothing. My bad.
We should put our political aspirations on the back burner based off of this like fantasy, this belief. Like it's like honestly, it's like religion. Like
it is. It very much so is.
Because it's not really based in reality.
You're correct. It is not based in reality at all. Right. So we're supposed to. Even if they get everything on their agenda right now, capitalism will still be here. As RMB says, you can have good healthcare under tyranny. It's still not gone.
That's what John says all the time. Like they're not even talking about being real socialists. They're talking about being democratic socialists with what they're planning. Yep. I mean, but see, here's the thing. Like they throw these ideas out there that they know aren't the full socialist thing. But then when we talk about like something like reparations, which is, radical compared to what they're talking about,
absolutely,
then that's when they pull out, this, well, if you want to do real reparations, what you really need to do is socialism, where we just change everything. And it's never really clearly defined what exactly they're talking about doing, but apparently it will take the globe. Like we would have to wait until we can get every nation on the planet on one accord so that we can have an economic system that actually works.
It's some Pan-African shit. It's the same. I think we said this is the same shit the Pan-Africans today. We can't fix Black Americans till we fix all Black people globally. No, I hate all of y'all.
But so said we can't fix anybody. We can't fix Black Americans, so we fix everybody that's poor. Regardless if they hung your granddaddy and they still here. But I mean, even the middle, we have to fix the middle class too, the working class. We got to fix everybody. Like socialism would fix everybody, but they fix us. And I understand, in real shit, what we trying to say is like, listen, like, you cannot have anything close to a social democracy, nothing close to something that's big in your brain until you fix Negroes. I'm sorry, it won't work. Disparities will still come out. It won't function the correct way. You have to get us off the like energy, like Sam, Murray, also you gotta get us on the board. Get us on the board. You could do a lot of things that you couldn't, and it'll be way easier because you did the hard step by taking us off the board.
Absolutely. And you cut all those problems in half. All those problems we had, we cut them in half. And for me, like John said, this is much easier than trying to get all those things on their wish list, right? And even if they get all the things on the wish list, because it's just like they're moving the goalpost, okay? It's not just wait till we get all our policies in place, but the end of capitalism. Okay, get all your policies in place. What's the plan to get to the end of capitalism?
No, the end of climate change. And they're going to end of climate change.
So we gotta wait for all the icebergs to come back. We gotta come for the ice caps to come back before we can get. Before we fuck out of here.
Navajo Nation. So said we can't fix anybody. We can't fix Black Americans, so we fix everybody that's poor. regardless if they hung your granddaddy and they still here. I mean, even the middle, we got to fix the middle class too, the working class. Yeah, we got to fix everybody. Like socialism want to fix everybody, but they fix us. And I understand. In real shit, what we trying to say is like, yo, listen, like, you cannot have anything close to a social democracy. Nothing close to something that's in your brain until you fix Negroes. I'm sorry, it won't work. Disparities will still come out. It won't function the correct way. You have to get us off the like AG, like Sam, Murray, also you gotta get us off the board. Get us off the board. You could do a lot of things that you couldn't, and it'll be way easier because you did the hard step by taking us off the board.
Absolutely. No. You cut all those problems in half. All those problems we had, we cut them in half. And for me, like John said, the easiest. This is much easier than trying to get all those things on their wish list, right? And even if they get all the things on the wish list, because it's just like they're moving the goalpost. Okay, it's not just wait till we get all our policies in place, but the end of capitalism. Okay. Get all your policies in place. What's the plan to get to the end of capitalism?
No, the end of climate change. They're going to end the climate change.
So we gotta wait for all the icebergs to come back. We gotta come for the ice caps to come back before we can get. Before we fuck out of here.
Navajo Nation, give up your land because Arizona's going to be an ocean. It's not going to be dry no more. I will some of the land.
Let Mud go. I know
I was just going to piggyback off of what MG said, because we got to end climate change. We got to end capitalism. We got to end policing. We got to end so many different things before we could deal with the American Negro.
We might as well go to Mars with fucking Bezos. What the fuck?
Can we just say the Cookie Monster? I'm making a pause just in case I decide I want to cut it. But can we say the Cookie Monster is just really saying I'm not fucking for reparations, because all the shit that she listed that has to happen before to get reparations, we got to go through like 10 things. Yo, not on my back, not in my name, and not on my back.
It's this long term, way down the road bullshit. It's
Throw
crazy.
This shit in the garbage. Throw this shit in the garbage.
Hot garbage.
Hot garbage. Like the fucking meme, the Lion King meme where they fucking throw Simba. I'm throwing you, Cookie Monster. I'm throwing
I don't know who Cookie Monster is. I have no idea what's going on.
I'm gonna call her Cookie Monster, and I'm gonna call her Cookie Monster because she wants to take all Black people's reparations and give them to other little poor baby at the corner. Here's some cookies. Rich middle class white person who's gonna get $212 grand from their family. Here's some Negro cookies.
This is crazy. I want one of them to give me a list of all the shit that has to end before we get our reparations. That would be crazy. All the shit that's got to be in place, and then all the shit that's got to end before we get our reparations. Make that list and you write that down and put it on Twitter, and you'll see how stupid this shit is.
They're gonna see you on VHS. They're gonna see Armageddon on VHS. Like this, we got to happen. It's gonna be Armageddon on the VHS with Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis got to get our reparations.
No. I'm gonna piss y'all off. Let's play. So we got to do all this shit before we can let any new immigrants into the country.
Ooh.
We got to
because America is reparations for a lot of these folks.
We got to get rid of capitalism. We got to fix climate change. We got to do all of those things first. You know why? Because white people will get mad about all these new immigrants coming in and they might try to kill them. And we want to protect new immigrants from getting the nigger treatment in America, where they actually come in, burn down your house, shoot your people, and they only kill the people who own land. They don't give a fuck about the broke niggas. Well, from time to time they'll hang the broke niggas, but look
wrong
at
place,
it.
wrong time.
Go look at those. What is it? The Equal Justice Initiative. Go to their YouTube page. Look at those lynching stories. Those were businessmen. Those were people who had hundreds of acres, and then they ran their family up off that land.
From Grandpa to Emmett to Trayvon, the trajectory of lynching history has shifted over time in America. I am the great-great-granddaughter of Anthony Crawford, who was lynched October 21st, 1916. And my aunt's home, which was where we had our Thanksgiving dinners and Christmases, she owned the largest photograph of him in a permanent space over the dinner table. And they always pointed to him and said, walk with a sense of pride, because Grandpa Crawford stuck up for his rights to the time of his death. As a child, when we were told the story of Grandpa Crawford, he's like a king almost. We were told that he was born enslaved and had worked his way up to owning property and was wealthy. He started a school for the Black children in Abbeville. He was the president of the Black Masons of South Carolina. And at the time of his death, Grandpa Crawford owned 427 acres of prime cotton land. So one day in 1916, it's a Saturday morning, Grandpa Crawford went to town to sell cotton seed, and they offered him 85 cents per unit. It was worth more. He said, give me my damn cotton seed back, and was arrested for cursing a white man. Word had gotten around town that Anthony Crawford had started acting uppity. And so about 400 people gathered, taking Grandpa out of the jail. They stabbed him, beat him, tied him to the back of the buggy and drug that around town to the county fairgrounds. They hung him there and riddled his body with 200 bullets. The last thing he said was, I thought I was a good citizen and give my bank book to my children. The family tried to retrieve the body and were told to leave it there. So if you could imagine your grandfather being at home eating breakfast with the children, laughing, and then all of a sudden he's hanging from a tree with 200 bullets in him, that's a form of terrorism. And then there was an ad taken in the newspaper by white citizens. And they said that the Crawford family needed to leave the state of South Carolina, otherwise everybody's life was in danger. My great-great-uncle, Walter, Grandpa's oldest son, wrote Governor Richard I. Manning and asked him for protection. Governor Manning wrote back and said while he deplored the lynching, he could not guarantee our safety. So my family didn't leave the South. They were chased away from the South. We moved to Evanston, Illinois, and not only did the Crawfords leave, but half of the Black population of Abbeville was gone within the next 10 years. I haven't spent a lot of time in the South. The first time I went to Abbeville was the first time I could understand what 427 acres looks like. And that's when I think I got really offended. That's the day I became an activist. I came home and I started writing congressmen, and I'm saying, do you know their family was kicked off this property for this? These are unsolved murders. And people who benefited from lynchings, their families are still alive, and they're still benefiting financial rewards from the land of our ancestors. And that just seems a shame. So from Grandpa to Emmett to Trayvon, the trajectory of lynching history has shifted over time in America. Because when Grandpa was killed in 1916, there was no charges brought and no trial. In 1955, Emmett Till's murder, there was a trial but no convictions. And then Trayvon Martin, now you have a trial and a not guilty verdict. So all the time you have dead Black bodies, and nobody's ever convicted for the murders. On the 100th anniversary of Grandpa Crawford's lynching, we went back to Abbeville. Over 200 family members came from all over the United States to help unveil the marker dedicated to Grandpa Crawford's lynching. And I remember Grandpa's granddaughter, one of the only living grandchildren, was next to me in a wheelchair. And when we took the cover off of the marker, she looked at the picture of him. I saw her face light up, and I heard her say, my, my, my. And to watch her enjoy that moment, that meant the world to me. So the marker being in Abbeville is important because the story has been denied for so long. But now, if you go to Abbeville City Hall to do business, you have to walk right past Anthony Crawford to do it. You can't bypass him anymore.
Because they said, we'll kill you too. And I'm going to insert those videos in this shit. So y'all can understand this shit has been going on forever. Whoa, this wealth transfer thing might make me change my whole position on how I was feeling about y'all whites. Like, I listen, because before I was trying to fuck with y'all middle class whites, but I don't know. I think I'm strictly poor. I think I'm strictly fuck with the poor whites because y'all middle class whites about to get 212,000. So if you are a middle class,
you won't see him anyway.
If you are a middle class white person and your parents or your grandparents own a house and you're not for reparations, I'm coming for you. Because if I can't have reparations, I want 100% motherfucking wealth tax. Like Elizabeth Warren said, you didn't build that, you didn't earn that, bitches. So if I can't have the money that was supposed to be given to me as a wealth transfer for my people, you can't have your wealth transfer neither. Let's go. Let's go. Class war. That's what y'all wanted. Y'all been talking about how we race reductionists and this, that, and the other. Then fuck it. Let's have a class war because y'all niggas ain't talking about this class. If we have a class war, that's going to involve middle class white people too because the great wealth transfer is coming over the next 30 years. This shit's about to shake up all over again in the demographics because white people gonna have some more money. And let's not just talk about white people. Don't forget people of color got money too. That wealth transfer is coming from people of color. It's coming from Japanese people. It's coming from Chinese people. It's coming from it's coming from Indian Asian people. Oh yeah, class war.
I mean,
y'all ready?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about this all the time on our show. But you know, other than refugees, immigrants skew upper class, right? The ones coming in from India and China and Brazil, they got and Africa. They got loot. They coming here with loot.
Some of y'all refugees is running away from conditions that black people are living in Detroit. I'm gonna insert some video.
We just got word that there was a shooting here in this neighborhood. There's several people who've been shot. There's a huge crowd of people who are looking on at the scene. We've been here just 4 hours and already we've seen 6 murders.
This crime scene is so fresh, authorities are still looking for the killers in the crowd. One police officer has been gunned down. 5 gang members are dead. Every hour and 15 minutes, somebody gets killed here. This is not Iraq or Afghanistan. Honduras is a different kind of war, and we're in the most dangerous city in the world, San Pedro Sula.
So there's one kid over here being questioned by police right now, and sources tell us that he may be a gang member.
Gang violence, fueled by drug trafficking, has made San Pedro Sula ground zero for migrants fleeing the danger zone, causing the latest crisis on the U.S. border. These neighborhoods are controlled by rival gangs, and they are ruthless. MS-13 and the 18th Street gangs are the most powerful. They fight for territory and work with the drug cartels. More than 80% of the cocaine that comes into the United States passes through Honduras first. San Pedro Sula has become the regional hub for drug trafficking.
But when the cocaine stays here, they start to distribute it and sell it.
Colonel Germán Alfaro is a top Honduran military commander.
These violent kids are involved in crime. They're killing people, assaulting, stealing. It's practically a war.
So here we are, we're at another crime scene now. We just got word here that 3 people were shot. It may have been a drug shootout. One guy's just still laying in the parking lot behind his truck over here. The car is just riddled with bullet holes.
Gangs and cartels are the usual suspects.
Do you think this is narcos?
7 Mile Road in Detroit. One of the most dangerous no-go zones in the USA.
Functioning the way it did in the 50s when it was Jim Crow.
So y'all are already 800,000 ahead of us, and MG said that's a family of 4. So if we add 212,000 again, that's another 900,000. So y'all gonna be at $1,800, and Negroes supposed to sit around and wait for nothing. So if y'all keep waiting to pay this debt, it's gonna get higher. I love Darity, but Darity's number is the beginning. That Thomas Kramer number is like 6.4 quadrillion, which yes, it may sound obscene, but y'all keep waiting. Like the way y'all keep talking, we already gonna be at $1.6 million because of what white people have, and that'll become the new base. Just because the wealth transfer.
I think
and I hope, and I'll have to send this to Darity so he can let me know if I'm right or not. Because I'm not a mathematician, I'm not an economist. I'm a girl who fucking got a culinary degree because white supremacy beat the life out of me in schools. So as an adult, I just realized I can learn at 26. So I've had a whole 10 years. So a lot of stuff I just look at it and I understand, but I need people who have the expertise to let me know if I'm right or not. But I am smart enough. You know what the smartest people do? They reach out to people who know what the fuck they're talking about and ask for help. That's what the smartest people do in the world. It's not about your education level. It's not about what you know. It's about knowing how to ask the right questions and ask people who have the expertise if they can help you understand things that make sense. And that's how you grow and that's how you get smarter. Okay, let me just play the rest of this. No, John, let me just play the rest of this, please. God, because we talk so much. 2 minutes and 47. It's all of it. It's all of it.
The argument that we don't have the money. So that's where our mindset came from. The people who are not nuanced, like, oh, I can't believe you guys coming out against reparations. No, we're not. Reparations are something that you should fight for.
Yes, you are.
But you gotta understand that we can't allow our money to go right back to the capitalist hands that are responsible for our oppression.
That's not what Fred Hampton.
And also one more thing I wanted to bring up your point of Jackie.
You're against Fred
Hampton because you were talking about generational wealth. You mentioned that earlier on. I wanted to share this just to highlight the issue that you brought up. They was shared on Twitter a few days ago, but 1 in 5 Black Americans are experiencing poverty for the 3rd generation in a row. Is it sharing? I don't know if it is. Yeah. I didn't click the last button. Okay, I caught myself. Okay, so here it is. 1 in 5 Black Americans are experiencing poverty for the 3rd generation in a row, compared to just 1 in 100 white Americans. Late to this, but this is a study of a remarkable grim look at economic mobility. And this is John. This is exactly going over the generational wealth that even a lot of poor white people benefit from.
So you see here, they're talking about how Black people are going to be in poverty for the 3rd generation in a row. We just literally showed you how white people of color with money are about to fucking get a wealth transfer. So your answer is not give Black people money. Let white people have their wealth transfer. Plus do UBI, all these other fucking wealth transfers.
Free college and get rid of that college debt.
Get rid of that college debt. Get rid of all this shit that's going to give white people all this extra boost, but you don't want to give Black people shit. I'm not against you giving white people anything. I'm not against you giving people of color anything. I'm 100% for you giving poor people shit after reparations. You give Black Americans our reparations first, because from what I'm seeing, I don't know if you guys are weaving this together in your head the way that I'm weaving this together. This is alarming. The wealth gap is about to increase in an insane way. And I understand that we've been talking about this for years, but seeing these numbers and reading that article, my head is screaming. Y'all got anything before I finish playing this? Because
Yeah,
my head is screaming.
Yeah, because I think part of the point here, they're going through what we're telling them, right? They're going through this shit. We, like you said, Sam, this is alarming, and it should set off alarm bells in their head, right? So you go through this shit, and honestly, and I got to be real about this. I wrote about it before. The people on the left, the people who are in charge of the left now, they are literally waiting for us to disappear. That's why after Bernie's performance in 2016, he failed with black people. They pulled up stakes and shifted to people of color and immigrants, right? Because they know these numbers just like we know these numbers. They're banking on us being politically, socially, and economically irrelevant within the next decade. That's what they're banking on. And these niggas are helping them put that shit in the bank. Right? They are literally, there's no way that a movement that can't beat the Democrats doesn't need a black vote, doesn't need the black vote, and should pay for the black vote by giving us policy. There is no fucking way. Yet still, these folks are fighting for the same votes that Democrats and Republicans are fighting for, even though we're sitting here unserved. It is obvious that they are banking on us being gone. Gone. And once this wealth transfer is done, that's what they're banking on. When this major wealth transfer is done, we'll be even further behind. And they won't have to give a fuck about us at all.
Let me tell you, this shit is starting to feel like Game of Thrones. And when it comes to allies, I'm looking around. Listen, you know, the crazy thing is a lot of you guys are new. And for those of you who are new, I ask you to please go back and listen to our whole catalog, because I have really evolved on some shit. But right now, I'm on some American Descendants of Chattel Slavery, Black American Descendants of Chattel Slavery, freedmen first, poor white second. I might fuck with Americans, but with this great wealth transfer, I don't know. Listen, I need allies to start showing up and presenting themselves to me, because right now, y'all got me feeling some kind of way. And understand, because I have this video where I talk about how I don't want to deprogram your grandmother, and I don't care about old white people saying the word nigger. Understand the reason why I feel that way is because my best friend currently, which this motherfucker snuck up on me, I've never had a real white friend. And how this woman I met in like October, and now she is my best friend who I talk to damn near every day and spend every week with, which is fucking obscene, is now my best friend. This white woman is the person who told me, no, you can't appeal to white people's morality. You can't try to change white people's hearts and minds about how they feel about race. You just have to talk about brass tacks and numbers. That's how they... So white people change my feelings about how I feel about white people. So the way I feel about white people, I feel that way because of other white people. The way I feel about people of color is not only because of my experiences with people of color being anti-Black and racist, it's because I have friends who are people of color who have literally spent years telling me the bullshit that was going on in their community and the anti-Blackness. You can't have stuff like that happen and not shape you. So after this and reading that article, I'm gonna have to have a whole come to Jesus moment over the next couple of weeks to see how I feel. So if you are an ally and you really care about Black people, and there's a couple people that be in our comments that just came over from Tim's group. I think it's like Dallas, and there's the other one like Irene. Y'all some writers. I see y'all in the comments. Y'all white folks. I see y'all good white folks. David's a good white folk. Like, we got a few good white folks in our shit. So y'all don't even have to comment. If you want to comment, just to comment, but I already see you. And I respect where you're coming from. But otherwise, I need y'all to start showing yourselves, because this right here, y'all want a class war, you're going to get it. And if you a middle class person, y'all going to have to get it. And this is coming from a person who's about to be in the top 1% of Black people. And if I'm willing to fight a class war against myself, oh, I'll come for you motherfuckers. Because, you know, I'm a simple person. All I need to do is be able to eat well and go on vacation from time to time and raise my kids and me not have to work. And I'll be fine. So, like, you know, if y'all got to take some wealth from my future husband, even though he, you know, we can talk about this a little bit. I'll give up a little bit of something, but you motherfuckers got to come up first. You white people and you fucking people of color, your Japanese people, your Chinese people, your Asian Indian people, y'all got all the money. Y'all got to come up off of it. Then after that, we can talk about taxing Bill Gates. Not Bill Gates. We can talk about taxing Oprah Winfrey and Byron Allen, but not till after we tax and drain everybody else. Black people last. And we should be tax exempt for 400 years. So even if we tax the fuck out of everybody, it shouldn't come out of our money. Sorry. Okay, go ahead. I'll shut up. I see you got something to say, NG.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Okay, so should I keep playing this or are y'all good?
I'm good. Anybody else?
Cool.
So it's not the same level. And once again, I stand in solidarity with anyone who in this class struggle, but if you don't have any generational wealth, like a lot of Black Americans, because of the new Jim Crow, because of the racist institutional capitalist system we live under, this is why we need reparations. So I just want to add those two, because I think that backed up what
you said we should get that after everything else. But this is why we deserve reparations, but it should come after. This is the thing. Again, you can't say that we should have all this shit, but the white people and people of color who are against reparations will take what the first part of what you said and ignore everything the fuck else. All right.
Hey, you know what? Nah, man, these motherfuckers be lying, because I feel like the framework of what this motherfucker is talking about, this guy, and his team and his crew. I know that some of them they make good arguments. The thing about it is like, there's something about that sensationalized about arguing for our humanity. That's like you really with Black people, because you can argue with a motherfucker that think we ain't dirt, and you could be like, yo, real shit, like I guess Black people kind of him. And you argue with this motherfucker for 3 hours straight. You feel me? Like about like his brain is small, and for some reason you come out of that and feel like, you feel me? A lot of white leftists do this, like Bosch, like motherfucking whatever the fucking other white leftists is that argue with other white like neo-Nazis about our fucking humanity, and they feel like because they had to spend 10 hours arguing about our humanity, and if you already you understood our plight, because you bring up our plight and our humanity, you bring up all the reasons why we need reparations in our humanity when these fights, but you're not talking about why the fuck you're not fighting to really change our social condition, which is disgusting. And I feel like what he's doing and shit like that. Like I said, he's a tool of the left. He says, I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck. He's part of the I don't care. I'm sorry. These Fred Hampton Leftists is the fucking worst, man. They
are, you know what? They might as well just recruit Bree to the Fred Hampton Leftists, because they on the same shit when it comes to Black people.
Definitely. But he been double speaking this whole time though.
Yes.
Because I heard him in the beginning saying like, I'm down for cash payments, man. I understand. I'm definitely with that. I'm definitely with that. But capitalism, this and him like he's trying to find an out so white people won't feel uncomfortable around him. You call yourself a Fred Hampton leftist. You think Fred Hampton gave a fuck? White people got down with Fred Hampton because he ain't give a fuck. He said, listen, I'm about my peoples, man. The system fucking you over. They fucking my people over, but real shit about my peoples. You about to let's link up. Let's find a way
People forget that Jane Fonda was fucking with the Black Panthers heavy in her heyday, in the middle of her, you know what I mean? In her heyday, she was fucking with the Black Panthers.
Marlon Brando too.
Throwing fundraisers and all kinds of shit while they were demanding reparations. So why is it that those Black people could do it, but y'all can't? Let's get through the rest of it. We got 1 minute, and then we can do final thoughts.
They wasn't no joke, and I feel like they had joked to me, and the Black Panthers was no joke. It's no, you feel me? They was very serious about Black people. So like real shit, like they put Black people first, like you said.
Black, y'all.
Yeah, and they're not doing this. So all right, that's all right.
Can I add just one thing?
No.
If you have a bucket that is filled with holes,
this nigga,
no matter what you do, if you don't plug those holes up first, you're just gonna be losing whatever contents you have in it.
Okay, so let's rock.
I thought we were gonna keep going.
No, sorry. But I just need he used the shitty analogy, so let me give you a shitty analogy, right? Let's say that I'm thirsty, right? I am dying of thirst, right? if I don't drink some water, I'm going to die. If you give me a holy bucket, if I put my hands around the bucket, I should be able to get at least enough water to help me survive until somebody pours some more water in my bucket, right? You want Negroes to have an empty bucket with holes in it. That don't help us either. You just want us to not have a fucking thing. If a white person was saying this, they would be roasted. Y'all need to do y'all research on the Black Panther Party. I feel like y'all saw a trailer for the fucking Fred Hampton Leftists movie and thought that's a good name.
They did.
I don't think you did your motherfucking research. And Fred Hampton talks about not having a political education. Y'all niggas, just because you're talking about how you're not Negro capitalist and you're not Negro imperialist, he might not have called y'all that, but I don't think he would have called you friend.
So let me
yes,
two
sir, go ahead.
Two things. The main thing that white folks love about Fred Hampton is that he wanted to work with white folks, and he worked with the I forget the name of that organization, the Freedom White Boys, whatever the fuck they were. But people don't understand that coalition was agreed upon. They had meetings, they had discussions about what each one of them was about and what they were for. So these white folks came on and signed on with the Black Panther Party, with Fred Hampton, and the full 10-point program. These white folks were reparationists. They were reparationists. And that's what his pairing of white people is the only reason these people chose Fred Hampton. If Fred Hampton had not fucked with white people at all, they wouldn't be talking about him at all, right? But they want to emulate Fred Hampton and bring black and white people together. But to white people, especially these white people, that's all Fred Hampton was. That's all he was. And that's all that matters to them. He was nice to white people. That's all that matters to them. They don't give a fuck about nothing else. That's one thing. Number two, Nick says he's pro-reparations. But let's do a little litmus test, right? I say I'm pro Medicare for all, but I don't know if we should get rid of the insurance industry. It's a little strong, right? Am I for Medicare for all? Am I for Medicare for all, or am I bullshit?
I'm for criminal justice reform, but I'm not for getting rid of qualified immunity, and I'm not for abolishing the police, but I'm for criminal justice reform because before we do all of that, we need to take care of the climate because I need to breathe. I need to be able to breathe. So when the police choke me out.
Exactly. All these caveats.
Leave Chairman Nick alone.
All these fucking caveats.
You're no part of the team.
Yes.
It's like Chairman alone,
if Hillary Clinton said, I'm for universal health care, but we gotta wait until we can work something out with the healthcare industry. Is she for healthcare, universal healthcare, or is she just telling you some shit to get her off, get you off her back and on her side while she's in the background doing something else? That's exactly what the fuck Nick is doing. I'm a black man who's for reparations, but 100 years from now. It's bullshit. And that's why I called his ass out in the first place. They're not for reparations. They're not. And this nigga talk about some fucking holy buckets. Fuck you, fat boy. Let's go.
Oh.
him and the fucking Cookie Monster can eat it.
Fucking.
I think that he's not understanding that we don't have a bucket. I mean, like, we're like,
we got his handle.
We don't even got the bucket. So, like, reparations is gonna give us a bucket that got like holes as little in it. And you feel me? Like real shit, as compared to everybody else bucket in it, we don't even got a bucket, my nigga. Like, because you're comparing black people struggle to white people struggle, and then when you do that and you start breaking the numbers down, you realize that you ain't got a bucket. You feel me? You feel that you got a bucket with holes in it.
I
got a bucket.
Mud, what was your analogy? Okay. What was your analogy? I was like, we have a dinghy boat. No, I remember Mud's analogy. I'm stealing this from Mud. Mud was like, we don't. Okay, so rising tide. This is
Mud's
some
here.
rising. I know, but
Damn, Mud right here. Mud just watching
Mud
things.
gets,
Y'all going crazy.
tired of repeating himself.
Mud over the big Mud just watching
but
things.
Mud gets tired of repeating himself because I always have to ask him to repeat himself because he says good shit. So I'm just giving Mud credit because I'm not going to say his shit and not give him credit. Now, can I fucking finish? God damn. So this is some rising tides lifts all boat shit. This is the same shit that Obama was preaching to us when he was talking about we can't do reparations because immigrants won't want to pay it because they're new. So I was like, we have a dinghy boat with holes in it. And Mud said, we are hanging on to the fucking piece of wood like Jack in the motherfucking Titanic. These motherfuckers, yeah, Mud is a beast. Mud is a beast. So basically, y'all want us to hang on to the fucking piece of wood in the middle of the Arctic and hope we don't freeze to death by the time you finish bringing the ships for everybody else and then getting us. Fuck you.
Hey, everybody be quiet. Let it ride through, including you, Sam. Everybody let it ride through.
It's the same thing with reparations. We have to plug up these holes. What are these holes? The holes that are, who holds the most medical debt out of anybody in this country? It's Black women. When it comes to medical debt, we hold a lot of medical debt. It's kind of hard to get reparations when you're sitting in prison for a nonviolent drug offense. It's hard to get those reparations. So plug up the holes first, and then you can be able to fill up that bucket to equal that of what everyone else has. Until then, we'll just it will be what's the word I want to use? It will be it won't be productive, and we want it to be productive. So
all right, let me get this nigga real quick. Final thoughts. I got to go first. Buckets. That's a weird start. Buckets. What is the natural state of a bucket? A bucket does not naturally have holes. That's called a sieve or a strainer, right? Somebody put the holes in that fucking bucket, right? The same people you're trying to save put the holes in the fucking bucket. And you want to keep our bucket holy and tell these folks, reparations it's not the holy bucket. Reparations is a bucket that catches water, right? Reparations heals those holes. Your analogy is all fucked up because even if we have debt, we can pay off that debt, right? Even you M4A and Medicare for all people aren't talking about erasing medical debt. You're talking about moving forward with Medicare for all. I have yet to hear anybody concretely say that part of Medicare for all is erasing all previous medical debt. And I fucking guarantee you the people that owe that debt are not going to let that happen because it's mostly insurance companies, mostly hospitals, pharmaceutical companies, and whoever that holds that debt. They're not going to let that just disappear, just like this college debt shit is not going to just disappear, right? So if we're going to we need a whole bucket. Reparations is our whole bucket because it heals reparations takes care of all those previous wounds and helps us build forward to other things. And it's maniacal to me. This is verging on sabotage, really, what they're doing here. They're really handing people stupid ass talking points to soothe their soul about leaving us on the bottom. Can you imagine that? These people are collaborators.
Collaborators, yes, that is the perfect word. Thank you, collaborators.
They are helping people hold us down. This is crazy.
This video gonna be like 5 hours long because all the bullshit that Matt Brunig says about we can't do reparations because Black people have as much money as middle class white people and all this other shit. This is all the Matt Brunig, the Zed Jelani, the Brevery, all of the anti-Black leftists. And this is coming from people who call themselves Fred Hampton Leftists. Did y'all consult the family about using these people's names?
Are they even living up to what Fred Hampton was all about? Besides holding hands with white people, right? Even Fred Hampton, they had a litmus test. You ain't just not going to be a white person just coming in his circle. You have to have some sort of commitment to the movement in order to and commitment to their 10-point program.
He had white people coming in who was like, fuck, we not giving Negroes no kind of economics. Fuck you niggas. And they was on the team. Oh, wait, no, they didn't? Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. No, they didn't do that. Else? No, Fred Hampton is famous for talking. Fred Hampton was famous for talking to anybody. That nigga would talk to anybody about his plight, just like we are about reparations. He didn't care, right? But people who are in his circle that he says he's in coalition with, they got to sign on for the whole load. It's not just piece by piece. Well, everything's cool except the reparations. Get the fuck out of my building. Get this nigga out of here. That's the treatment they would get. That's the treatment these niggas gonna get unless they get their shit together on reparations.
Or just stop talking about it. But
yeah, leave it alone.
I don't know if y'all should be able to keep your name though. But
no, definitely not.
But I'm not. You know, that's not for me to say. But maybe Fred Hampton Jr. should start watching your show and see if he approves. I don't know what his politics are. Maybe he would approve.
Maybe somebody in their crew knows Fred Hampton Jr. and he said it's okay. Maybe that's the case.
Maybe, but if not,
hopefully they're helping him raise money to keep the house, because I remember Fred Hampton Jr. was trying to raise money to keep the house his father was killed in. So maybe they're doing that.
I don't know. I don't think they're doing that.
One would hope. I don't watch their show like that. One would hope they're doing that.
And they Black people, but my whole thing is this, man. Like real shit, man. Like they politics in the present day is similar to Kennedy, what they call a John F. Kennedy Democrat or something like that. LBJ kind of Democrat. Somebody that Fred Hampton would have not liked at all. Like I don't even think Fred Hampton would like FDR. He probably would have hated him. He was down with lynchings and shit like that. Like, and you're centering his politics. Excuse me. You centering his politics, like what he stood for as a Black man, like real shit, like as a Black in the '60s though, when this is a real radical time. So Fred Hampton came after the civil rights movement, when motherfuckers was getting their brains blown out. He was a child of that. It came out like fuck that. We doing something different. And it's the '60s, '70s hippies thing. So you're getting down with other people. But it was always Black first. Like he was always Black like, first. Real shit. Like he came. The coalitions that was built from the Black Panther Party was built off of respect. It wasn't built because they was like, yo, this is what we want, man. Get down with us, like, or try to, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like, yo, I'm just with you because I believe what you believe in, and the imperialists is screwing you too. I mean, that's part of that. That was part of his pitch.
It wasn't some Daryl Davis shit.
No,
it wasn't some Daryl Davis. We need to get rid of Black History Month because at this point we don't need it anymore. It should just be American History Month. That Daryl Davis that Jimmy Dore likes to show taking Planned Hoods.
Give me a robe so we can get rid of get rid of Black History Month. Give me a robe so we can get rid of Black History Month. That's what fucking
I
people.
Say, they politics ain't Daryl Davis type politics, but the thing about it is like. Their politics is really more tame than Fred Hampton politics is. Like, if Fred Hampton came up in this time, I think that he'll definitely be on our side, and he'll try to build coalitions from our side for real. And if you can't get there, you gotta lay down. You feel me? Because it's the '60s though. It's a different time though.
That's what Deans would do.
You want to get down with Kennedy Democrats, people that motherfucking Fred Hampton would have really hated. Bernie Sanders. Jill Stein and them, like, is you fucking crazy, man? Fred Hampton would have been on their ass for real, like. And you feel like this is what you need to do. You out of your fucking mind, man. You done lost, y'all are horrible. You lost the whole soul of our...
Horrible.
You taking the soul of our people and doing some bullshit with it. My bad.
And that's the wild shit, though, right? That's the wild shit is that, again, the 10-point program could be the blueprint for what the left could be, right? If they are the Fred Hampton leftists, they should be carrying this thing around. Hey, this thing is perfect for what we want to build. They talk about healthcare. They talk about jobs. They talk about building wealth. All this stuff. They talk about destroying capitalism. Yay, kill capitalism, right?
Yeah, no, real talk. Everything I'm talking about. Only thing they're missing is UBI.
Yeah, and they talk about
and we can add that.
Exactly, and they talk about reparations as a blow to capitalism.
Not as a gift to capitalism.
Yes, as a blow to capitalism.
And you motherfuckers are the reason that I have these fucking white racist leftists talking about you black capitalists. Bitch, I'm not a black capitalist. I'm still poor. I don't have enough money to be a black capitalist.
But
and even if I become a black capitalist, that means that I have exceeded the wealth of the 90% of my peers. So even if there are a few black capitalists, most Negroes can't be black capitalists like the Cookie Monster. Of course you're not a capitalist. You're broke.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. Everybody's participating in capitalism. You buy a stick of gum.
Aren't allowed to.
Yeah, exactly. You buy a stick of gum, you're participating in capitalism. You buy a bottle of water, you're participating in capitalism. You turn your fucking lights on in your house, you're participating in fucking capitalism. But niggas gotta wait. Niggas gotta wait.
So, and speaking of the Native Americans, when I was a hot girl in my early 20s and used to live in Miami, I had a Native American homeboy. I can't remember what tribe he was from, but I think he was connected to the Seminoles, but I'm not sure.
Florida, probably so.
But he was connected to casino money. We used to go to Heat games. We used to hang out at the casino and blow money.
They get an allowance.
We used to go to all them rich clubs. That he wasn't working for that money. He had no job. That was money that was coming to him from the casinos, from the tribes. You can call it what you want, reparations. You can call it their treaty, whatever. But stop talking to me about Native Americans.
They were building wealth.
Stop talking to me about Native Americans and them getting money when we can already show you over and over and over again where they've gotten money. And for the people who haven't gotten money, they want their treaties respected. And again, that ain't got nothing to do with us. So all of this is terrible. We only took like less than a 12-minute clip. There was 3 other clips. Y'all better hope we don't have time to do a part 2, 3, or 4 because we got other stuff to do. But we might just revisit this. Like we might revisit this out of the blue in in a month or so, depending on how we feel. And especially if y'all say anything, like y'all say boo, say anything. Come for us disrespectful for this video, and we will do part 2, 3, 4, and 5. We will dissect this bitch play by play like we are football players sitting in the meeting, and it's our job.
But that's the thing though. That's the thing though. They're gonna come for us. They got no choice. They really have no choice, right?
They better not.
They got 2 choices. They got 2 choices.
Just better go talk to Darity and shut up and pretend like this didn't happen.
That's option number 1. Or option number 2 is to come at us all with both barrels blazing. Those are only options.
Y'all need to pull a Mariah Carey. Y'all need to be like, I don't know her. And then you need to go talk to Darity. Because if you have Darity come on your show and you start talking better, stop talking crazy, we not coming back at you. Because this is what we need to talk about. But if you come at me foul, understand this, all the little charts, all the stuff this was thrown together in less than 24 hours. Don't fuck with me. I will spend a week on me and Mud. Do they want a bitter dose? Do they want a bitter dose / Khaleesi project? All the motherfucking Fred Hampton Leftists? Do they don't want that? Mud,
as a follower of Chairman Nick, I don't want that. I'm a follower of Chairman Nick. Don't do that to us. All right? Medicare for all.
So I'm gonna fight my urge as a black. No, I'm gonna fight my urge as a black.
God damn it, John! I was drinking. God damn.
No, I'm gonna fight my urge though. Y'all remember that old joke where people be like, you know how black people be wishing a nigga would, and how you be walking to your scene like, I wish a nigga would be in my seat. So I'm gonna fight the urge to say, I wish you niggas would come back at us. But instead, I'm gonna say, please go do some homework, do some research. Talk to Professor Darity, talk to an economist, learn something. And if you don't agree with what we have to say, bow out now. Because if not, No, that's a
black leftists, man. Do not invoke none of our heroes. Do not say I'm a Malcolm X leftist, Martin Luther King leftist, Fred Hampton. Do not invoke none of our heroes if you ain't serious about
listen,
the people
I
you
don't
fighting
like
for
to
and
do
die
black
for.
on black crime.
Don't do it.
I don't like to do black on black crime, but this is some us shit. Y'all are doing some tether shit to the Fred Hampton leftists, and y'all are not the real. Y'all the fake.
And I'm sorry, hey Sam, we gotta ask where they grandparents from. Who them?
That's why I brought it up early. Who you?
Them from, man? And then the thing, when I figure out what your grandmama and them from, and I figure out your grandmama and them is from where we from, I'm gonna be like, damn, man.
Yeah, just while we're talking about that, I mentioned it earlier. This is a long video. This is probably gonna be split up into parts. But the reason we're asking where their grandparents are from, because if they're not eligible for reparations and they're speaking on this, right, they may be speaking from a place of not wanting us to get it, right? So, or in a space that we've seen a lot since we started this fight, where they'll be against it unless they can get in on it, all right? So sometimes it becomes a form of blackmail, right? So we have to be careful about where people are from, what they're all about, and to assure that they're coming at this from an honest point of view, at least a space where they can, at least coming from a space of honesty, a space of, okay, I'm eligible, but I don't think it should be done.
They can be like Breonna Greyjoy and be black, y'all, and just be anti-black in their policy. What you guys are pushing for reparations right now is anti-reparations and it's anti-black. Because you're basically saying that black people have to sacrifice themselves again for everybody for them to get something. So this video,
that's that mammy gene. That mammy gene is a motherfucker. That mammy gene is a motherfucker.
The big mammy video with the white baby on the titty. I ain't gonna lie. The picture that Sam like to pull up of this big mammy it's a white child on the nipple. It's really disturbing, but it's funny in the motherfucker at the same time because you gotta laugh at it to hide the pain. That's why I feel like it's just like, oh damn, there's a white baby on this. And
I gotta note that is a beautiful woman. That woman is gorgeous. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, that's a beautiful young woman.
That woman is absolutely gorgeous. But in any event.
Yeah, let's kill this because it's gonna be like 4 hours long.
Split this up, Sam. Don't try to do all this shit at one time.
No, I'm gonna do it all at one time, and then I'm gonna murder they motherfucking asses in clips because people ain't gonna watch this. People only watch like 20 to 30 minutes of our videos. Only the diehards watch the full video from beginning to end. I'm going to clip the fuck out of this. I'm going to beat y'all over the head with every single clip, and I want you to sit there, eat your food, and not come at me because if you come at me, I'm going to burn
your food silently.
John calls me the Khaleesi for a motherfucking reason. And not only will I Khaleesi you, I will motherfucking Cersei your ass at the motherfucking set. I will blow your whole motherfucking shit to the ground because I feel offended about how you are treating me and my people. I don't want to go scorched earth on that ass yet, but come at me, bro.
Hey, sis, I'm just asking one thing. I know that you do a lot of editing. I know you do a lot of editing. You know, I never asked you to put no clips in. All the clips in is dope. All the clips in is fire. But one clip though, that one clip from Game of Thrones where motherfucking Cersei is all bloody and everything, got the hair, they got the big nigga with the gold shit on, and she chose violence.
No such promises. If you refuse to come of your own free will. Move aside, sir. Order your man to step aside or there will be violence.
I choose violence. Please tell His High Holiness he's always welcome to visit.
MG wanted to go ham months ago. MG, John, they wanted to go ham months ago. They wanted to choose violence. And I was like, no. We gonna sit, we gonna watch. We're gonna sit and we're gonna watch.
Yes. Yep.
I officially let go of the chains. We choose violence. We choose violence. So, and what I mean by violence is I mean knowledge. Because knowledge is some violent shit. Because we debunked everything that you said. This was less than 12 minutes. We didn't break a sweat, and we only watched the video maybe twice. As in once before we watched it to tell y'all watch it. We didn't break this shit down.
This is what we do.
Work hard. This wasn't mental gymnastics. We didn't go out here and solve rockets. We barely thought about y'all. We killed your argument. So again, I'm gonna need you to sit and eat your food. I'm gonna need you to go talk to Darity. I'm gonna need you to read What We Get Wrong About Closing the Racial Wealth Gap. I need you to look at Running the Numbers, right? On closing the racial wealth. I'm gonna need y'all to do all of that. I'm gonna need you to talk to Darity, and I'm gonna need
read Familiar to Equality.
Read the whole book, and there's a motherfucking audio book.
I sent them the link.
Excuses. No, there's no excuses. There's a whole audio book. You ain't even got to read. I'm dyslexic. I can read books, but I much rather prefer listening to them. So there's no excuses. Y'all shouldn't even have done this shit without you have been read this or whatever. Without having read this. So again, sit and eat your food, because if you come back, we will choose violence.
We already chose. It's too late. We chose.
No. This video, I'm gonna put in the Spaceball shit. This video was a shot across the bow. We didn't blow up your ship yet. This was a shot across the bow. Come at me, bro. Come at me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We put my bad.
No, go ahead, John. I'm gonna close. Go ahead. I'm gonna close out with this. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I ain't like. Well, I'll say one last thing, man. I think that we really was giving them like the benefit of the doubt, because you know what I mean. Like, because you already know we come from a leftist space. We don't like to attack black people. I ain't gonna lie. Like, Adolph Reed don't count, and Bree at the time, like. I ain't gonna lie. I think that Bree part of my ethnic. I can feel that she's part of my ethnic group, but I'm like, she just lost. Like, so I come at her like she's my sister. Like, man, you better wake the fuck up. We cook her though. But it was something about these particular group. We see them coming, and we felt it in our spirit. Like, something about this shit ain't right. And something about these motherfuckers ain't right, man. Like, what the fuck is they doing? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, but. With MG, MG, but you know you asshole because you was just like reparations, whatever. Y'all with it? Cause they're like, yeah, police is killing black people all day. We gotta get Medicare for all. Fred Hampton, you like reparations? Like, it's on the menu. You got a big menu. I'm like, yeah, I got turkey burgers. I got a veggie burger. Reparations on that menu. They were help you. And then one day, when people started responding like, yeah, real shit, I ain't gonna lie, our sister like that, watch, you know what I mean? I believe her think it's James Baldwin thing. She was like, yo, they ain't responding to you yet.
Yeah, Gloria, Glow, yeah.
After that, and then a few other people responded, the nigga lost it. I'm Green Party, and I start going.
I voted green because I love reparations.
I voted green. So those for reparations because I voted green. We like, what the fuck? Like, he's a neo-lib that voted for Joe Biden. That means I
voted green for global reparations.
He did. I understood that he thought he was going to use these talking points, and we looking at him like, oh, you just revealed yourself to us. And at that time, MG wanted to get him, but Sam was being like, no, I've seen some of these videos, like, let's not we ain't gonna jump the gun, because you know what I mean? Like, we not gonna just jump, that's not what we do. We cook people, but we cook them for a reason, like, you know what I mean? Like, we feel like it might be some, but after this video, when they really tackle reparations, like, they really told us how they felt.
And they fucked up.
The final straw. That was the straw that
you don't fucked up, right?
Balance. So we chose balance. Took a little pop shot at you, but we chose balance though. So I don't give a fuck, man. No, you can't come in this space playing these games, man. If you're gonna be a black leftist, be a black leftist. If not, then stay the fuck away from reparations. If you ain't gonna be talk serious about it, don't use it as a political tool to get leftist agendas, politics, or a right way anybody that play games with this shit, because this is so serious to us, because I feel me like this, it's not even about me. If it's about the generations coming up after us, it's about, for me, it's about people, our grandparents and that's ones that's still alive. This is not no game. We don't play around with this. We have fun on the show. But we don't play
This
around
goes
when it comes
back
to
to
this
the end of slavery. We are standing on the backs and in the shoes of our ancestors. Please don't stop, John. Keep going, my brother.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? It's like you talking about your mom, Sam. You talking about your grandma or your great grandma. You know what I mean? MG, your parents still alive and the shit they had to go through. Alabama. You ever sat down and talked to your parents like, yeah, what the you really talking to them and what they had to go through as children? Like
my great grandmother too. So I knew a person who knew a slave. In my lifetime, there was a person in my family who knew their slave ancestor. You could have paid a cent.
Yep.
So
I knew my great grandmother.
Because you wanted to close it out for us. So let's go ahead and close this out. No, because it's after midnight where you are. It's going on 1 o'clock. I know you got to work, John. So let's just close it out with MG.
Yeah. So first of all, for those of you who are new to us, this was a kind of a lit situation we got going on here, because we kind of fired up about this because we take reparations very seriously, because we are literally facing genocide. Our people are literally facing genocide in this country, and reparations is a very serious issue, and it's literally the only thing they can save us at this point, right? So when people dabble in it and don't come with a learned position, and as we stated earlier, they're literally, at this point in the reparations movement, there are literally thousands of people that you could have talked to that could have done this better than you guys did, right? And you could have interviewed them, asked them questions about where the movement actually is, and work from there, right? And talk about what the movement actually is talking about and actually demanding. And I've sent you guys Actify MG _RR, right? I sent you a link to Darity's book. I sent you a link to one of my articles, Future of a Movement. All right, you can't say we didn't.
Are you saying that they can't use that excuse like, oh, why don't you reach out and talk to them? So you're saying that we've been reaching out and you're not reaching back? Ooh, see, MG didn't tell me that he was already sending y'all shit.
Yeah, I mean, after that, the white lady, the young lady that's in this video, she posted it. That's the first time I saw it. It popped up on my timeline. They were talking about reparations, and the first thing I did, I sent them a link to Darity's book, right? And then I sent them right under that. I sent a link to the article that I wrote called "Future of a Movement" that really laid out what reparations, just bullet points, really, like we talked about before when we were talking to Darity about building something bigger, right? I just basically just bullet points of what reparations is really for, that to build a foundation to grow on, right? So just for everybody to kind of rally around, right? I sent them both of those things, right? So they can't say that they don't know better now, right? So go back in your mentions, right? Look for Actify MG _RR along with your name. It is in that link is in there, right? So those links are in there. So you can know better now. You don't have to talk to me. You don't have to talk to any of us. We're handing you Darity, right? And I say that in all seriousness. He is the leading scholar on reparations. He and his wife are the leading scholars. No disrespect. I'm sorry, Ms. Mullen. He and his wife, Kirsten A. Mullen, are the leading scholars on reparations in the nation, right? Contact them. They're completely professional. They are kind, brilliant people, right? Tell them we sent you or don't tell them we sent you. But it's at Sandy Darity on Twitter, okay? You don't have to talk to us at all. You don't have to say shit to us. But like Sam says, be careful what you say if you choose to say, right? So
if you choose violence, be ready.
Woo,
man, yeah, I'm waiting for you. I don't give a fuck. Come see me. My shit is at John Danny OC. Come get me. Don't get at them. Come get me.
I'm always willing for a little Twitter mix up. It's all gravy. I'm an old man. I don't do physical shit no more.
Don't play me. Y'all know I love to drop in our personal group chat. Y'all want to see a dead body?
I'm just saying, we talk. Yeah, we talk a lot of trash. It's what we do. It's what this whole show does. We talk shit the whole time.
And we mean all metaphorically. We mean
all metaphorically.
We mean with our mental fortitude, our stats, and our education, because we have taken time to actually educate ourselves in this field. So when we say choose violence, we mean we are going to use our intellect to break down and beat the fuck out of every argument you have. That is violence, because your ideas are stupid and we're going to beat them the fuck down. That is the violence, not physical violence. And no, ain't nobody have time for physical violence.
We have 3 weapons: history, facts, and data.
That's it.
Right.
Okay.
That's it. So with all that said, okay, this is an opportunity. We did one 12-minute clip of your 53-minute show. Right. We're glad you touched on reparations. We really are. Right. Okay, maybe Sam isn't, but we're glad you touched on reparations, as I'm glad you touched on reparations as a subject in a semi-serious manner. Kudos for that. Right? But here's an opportunity for you guys to learn from what we said. If you kind of can sort through the shit we're talking, trash talking. Right? So here's an opportunity for you guys to learn. And for those of you who are just outsiders, who are not a Fred Hampton Leftist, or you're just new to the show or whatever, there's a lot of resources for you guys to check out. Our people are in dire straits, and we have no more time to play, and we have no more time to prioritize anybody over ourselves. And if you can't find a way to understand that, you were never going to be an ally anyway. So fuck you. So at the end of the day, thanks for listening to Reset Race. Thanks for checking us out. We're here every week, and we're out.
Listening to Reset Race, you're now tuned in to Reset Race. You're listening to Reset Race, you're now tuned in to Reset Race. Put them back on the grill again, we grilling them. Put them back on the grill again, we grilling them. Put them back on the grill again, we grilling them. Back on the grill again, we grilling them. You're listening to Reset Race. ADOS need reparations to make America great. You're tuned in to Reset Race. We no longer starving while others eat off our plate. No. You're listening to Reset Race. We focused on our justice claim. We know what is at stake. You're tuned in to Reset Race. You'll find out we're really about justice and really who fake. Lineage go back to U.S. Southern plantations. Lineage, Jim Crow and mass incarceration. Redlining lynchings. We are old from this nation. You're not about justice if you ain't for reparations. MG the wise one, cousin mother intellectual. Samantha bringing fire, anti-black, we pressing you. No permanent friends and no permanent enemies. The backbone of the country, the win. You need our energy. You gon' see. Listening to Reset Race. You now tuned in to Reset Race. You're listening to Reset Race. You're now tuned in to Reset Race. Put them back on the grill again, we grilling them. Put them back on the grill again, we grilling them. Put them back on the grill again, we grilling them. Back on the grill again, we grilling them. You're listening to Reset Race. ADOS need reparations to make America great. You're tuned in to Reset Race. We no longer starving while others eat off our plate. No. You're listening to Reset Race. We focused on our justice claim. We know what is at stake. You're tuned in to Reset Race. You'll find out we're really about justice and really who fake.
Until you do right by me, everything you think about is gonna crumble.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.